everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
You know, that Horga'hn, it sounds like some sort of cleaning. Oh, it's Horga'hn. You know, get rid of your whores, like get rid of your whores. Horga'hn. I always think of it as some sort of like cleaning product. Introducing Horga'hn. I don't know. You know, I get that every time I hear it.
Oh, that's good. Wash your dirty misdeeds away with Horga'hn.
No one will ever know.
Jesus Christ.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Welcome aboard.
Jean-Luc Picard to the Starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
That is enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the Starship Enterprise.
But you can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Welcome to Risa. All that is ours is yours.
Do you seek Jamaharon? Did I get the word right?
Yeah, you nailed it. Good job. I haven't sought Jamaharon in a long time.
You girl, you and me both. Jamaharon with myself. I mean,
Peek behind the pod. We're recording this. I'm just coming off of spring break. And so Becca and our son went to visit her mom and brother in Nashville.
oh yeah, how'd that go?
It was great. They had a good trip. The drive was okay. And one of the things that she brought back for me was a tea towel for the kitchen that says, "Don't worry, dishes. Nobody's doing me either." Which is apropos for the intro to this episode. And then my daughter and I kicked it here all week, this is the thing. We talked about like, oh, maybe we'll take a family vacation and all go out there. But then I would not be rested and ready to go back to work. And like the point of the break is to recover and, reset. And so that's what I did. I kicked it here with my daughter, and we caught up on Stranger Things and got some cleaning done. Got the oil and the transmission fluid changed in the Jeep. Like it's just been a real great holiday.
Nice. I love that.
And I feel bad because the whole time I'm texting Allie like, and I'm like,
it must be nice.
At some point I was like, Allie's working. I forgot.
Yeah, it's the middle of my work day, and I'm like, oh, it must be nice to have some free time. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Your work day goes way into the night too, though. So
sometimes
you're always working.
But I will say, I went and I bought myself a cheap sewing machine.
Okay, all right.
So I'm really going to double down on trying to make my own costumes, and I've got 2 in mind that I need to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to learn something new, and because I'm going to Star Trek Las Vegas, and then also I signed up for Star Trek Cruise for next year.
You did.
Because it's like I was like, hey, it's in New Orleans, so I've never been to New Orleans, so.
Oh, cool.
So,
well, this episode makes me want a Horga'hn so bad. I want either the Horga'hn or I want a 3D printer to make my own.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been looking at them a lot.
They're not bad. Their price isn't nearly what it was like when they first came out. But then there's also like different, levels of quality that your print will give you. Yeah.
And if I'm just making a Horga'hn to sit on my headboard or whatever, that's one thing. But if I'm thinking like, oh, we could make stuff to sell at our table when we do tabling things, then maybe we might want something a little better grade.
Or just give away.
We can make little giveaways. Hell yeah.
I would totally on the cruise would just take a ton of Horga'hns and just like give them, like put them in places and people just get them.
Well, if you seek Jamaharon, then let's travel to Risa together on Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 19, Captain's Holiday.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? Got something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir. It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse com.
Number 1, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir, number 1, keep them out of my way.
Gene Roddenberry did not believe in heaven, but I gotta figure, as horny as that man was, some combination of that Edo planet and Risa would be his heaven.
And honestly, this was when I was watching this is when I was like, I'm getting a sewing machine. Because I was like, I could make that like clear plastic beach robe thing.
Yeah.
Something like that. I would just love to make some of these outfits. Because right off the bat, they're on Risa and there's women walking around just scantily clad in really cute outfits. And I'm like, I want to make one of those. I want to make those.
Well, you don't need too much fabric, that's for sure.
True.
1 yard will get you there.
Or less.
Or less.
Probably less.
Scantily clad everybody on this planet. And the establishing shot shows us a massive tiki statue, which we'll discuss more later. But we see 2 aliens beam in, and these are the Vorgons, which I know because I had the Playmates action figure of them. I also had Isak from last week too.
They made an action. They made an action figure of a character that only showed up once or twice.
Let me show you.
Searching.
There it is. There's the Vorgon.
Oh my goodness!
Right?
Wow. Horga'hn.
And I love the little accessories that it comes with.
That looks like a fucking butt plug. Oh my god.
That's the Horga'hn, apparently.
It's missing some stuff.
Okay, and then what did I say the other one was from last week?
Isak from what was he?
Chalna.
Okay,
Isak I had also.
Searching.
There's Isak.
Look at his little teeth.
His four little.
How cute.
Right?
Wow.
I loved those. Those were so much fun.
That's crazy.
Anyway, we're doing an episode. We're here. Where were we? They've got like these Vorgons have like full head ham and gloves that make their hands look almost claw-like, which I enjoy every time they do that. They ask the info desk computer for the room number of one Jean-Luc Picard, but the computer has no record of him being on Risa at the Mo, nor does it have an arrival date. So one of these Vorgons thinks maybe they're mistaken, but the other reassures him that Picard will come.
We get a first officer's log from Riker back on the D that they're leaving Jamaharon 5, where apparently Captain Picard was doing some diplomatic work and trying to resolve a trade dispute between the Jamarans and the Daklids. Jesus Christ, these names.
I'm telling you, Scrabble letters out of a bag.
Yeah.
Riker welcomes Troy back onto the bridge, and she talks about how these people were both stubborn, but Picard managed to negotiate an agreement. They just returned from one of those classic neighboring aliens hate each other and can't get along, and yeah.
They brought in a mediator, and
Picard comes onto the bridge and orders a course change to Starbase 12, Warp 4, gets a quick status update from Riker, and then he's like, well, I'll be in my ready room, carry on. And Riker congratulates him on the negotiation, but he's like, ugh, and leaves. Troy talks about how he's been under a lot of stress with this negotiation. He hasn't been eating or sleeping much, and she's got an idea, but she's pretty sure he'll never go for it. Our captain needs a vacation. This is another, like we talked last week with the captain never goes in for those medical checkups. The captain never takes a vacation is another classic Star Trek trope.
The whole trope about that is it like, why would you not want to take a vacation? are you that much of a control freak that,
Right.
or that you just literally think that your life can't function without you?
Report. Everything's status quo, sir. Very well. If anyone needs me, I'll be in my ready room. Sir. Congratulations. About what? About the trade agreement. Huh.
The scene we missed during the opening is clearly Riker and Troy went down to sickbay to put Crusher on this because she's the only one with the authority to force Picard to take vacation time, and we know he's going to refuse. So Crusher drops by Picard's office to tell him about an officer that's neglecting his health, and it becomes clear to him pretty quickly who she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She's like classic stress-related ailments brought on by overwork, exhaustion, and she put some stank on this one, irritability.
And as he rubs his neck, muscle spasms.
And he's like, ugh, fine, what's the treatment? And she prescribes a week vacation. Of course, Picard is not at all interested in this idea, and she reminds him that he's one of those guys that dreads the idea of going on vacation, but once you get there, you have a great time. And I get that. It's the going, it's the starting the thing that's the problem, but once the thing is started, I'm usually okay.
I love it all. I love the travel. I love the getting everything together and the planning. I love it all. And so if someone makes me go on vacation, I'm like, okay. So the Enterprise is going to this base to get some maintenance done. So he's going to use that time to just have some downtime. And he's like, I promise I will make full use of the recreational activities.
And she's not having that. She's like, well, there must be somewhere you want to go. And he suggests an astrophysics symposium on rogue star clusters. And she's like,
Jesus Christ.
Why don't you go someplace tropical and exotic where you can relax and be pampered, get your toes done or something? And in the end, he agrees to think about it. This next sequence of scenes is just brilliant. Classic comedic TNG montage of everybody trying to get Picard to go on vacation. I love it.
Riker's cornered him in the turbo lift, and he's like, so, where are you going? Have you decided yet? Picard's like, not you two. And Riker's like, he stops the elevator, like they do in NCIS if you've never watched. He's like, I know this great vacation spot, and it's close by in this sector. He's like, this place is called Risa. It's paradise. It's got warm tropical breeze, exotic food, nothing to do but lay around all day. And then they both say women.
And your vocabulary word of the week is sybaritic. Riker says, I'm sure you would find their sybaritic outlook on life very appealing. Sybaritic meaning fond of sensuous luxury or pleasure, self-indulgent, which does not at all sound like something Picard would actually enjoy.
No. I've never heard this word.
Me neither. Their conversation spills out onto the bridge where Picard says he'll have to explore Risa another time because this stop for repairs requires his personal supervision. Bullshit.
But Riker and Troy have already prepared for him. She's like, Troy, as they get to the bridge, Troy says, hey, you know what? There's an excellent chance my mother is going to be joining us on Starbase 12. And we know how he feels about her mother.
Oh, Jean-Luc, what naughty thoughts. But how wonderful you still think of me like that.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I'll go. God. No, he pulls Riker into the office, and as they walk away, you see Deanna mouth, yes! Like, she knows the scheme is working. And in the ready room, Picard's like, okay, is the whole crew in on this? And Riker's like, well, no, I think there's a couple ensigns on deck 39 who know nothing about it. And it's just that Riker grin again, that classic Frakes orneriness.
So mischievous. And so this next scene reminds me of like two kids watching their parents pack and getting ready to send them off. You know what I mean? So they're in Picard's quarters and Riker and Troy are like in there as he's packing. And she gives him a compliment because he's not in his uniform. He's in this like weird, I guess, vacation attire.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, you look so handsome."
And Riker's poking through his bag, which is just full of books. Ulysses by James Joyce, Ethics, Sophistry in the Alternate Universe by Ving Kuda, and Picard calls this all light reading.
Jesus Christ, he needs to relax.
Yeah. And Riker's like, okay, yeah, but did I mention how freaky the Rycian women are? And Troy says, too often. Whoops. A little too far there, Bill.
They're literally like two children.
Yeah.
And so Riker says, I have one request. So Picard's like, you want me to bring you a souvenir? And he's like, yeah, it's called a Horga'hn. I don't think you'll have any trouble finding them. And Picard's like, fine. And then that's all they say about that. And of course, Worf, where does Worf come from? Was he in there?
He's outside the transporter room as they walk up. And he's annoyed that Picard won't let him send a bodyguard along. I think Worf's just trying to go too.
Yeah.
Get his dick's wet. Worf says they'll be out of comms range. Mm-hmm. Again, communications work the way the story needs it to.
Mm-hmm.
Picard hands the keys to Riker and heads off to Risa. And Riker says to Troy again with the Frakes grin, he's going to have a great time.
Oh my gosh.
Picard beams in, and a woman in basically a sheer teddy and little else walks past him, and he turns around to watch her walk away. Ooh, Jean-Luc, what would Beverly think?
There's no relationship loyalty on here.
Yeah, this is like let's get the captain hooked up.
Yeah.
Then Picard bumps into a beautiful brunette and they exchange apologies, but when she sees a Ferengi nearby, wearing capris and flip-flops, I might add, she's like, God, it's so good to see you again, and throws her arms around Picard's neck and plants a fat kiss on him. And the Ferengi definitely sees this as intended, and Picard's like, hey, lady, I think you've got the wrong guy. And she's just like, oh, well, welcome to Risa, and skips off. Picard is extra cranky in this whole episode.
Yeah. He just wants to be left the fuck alone.
But as he walks on, he passes right by those aliens from earlier who were looking for him.
Will, I just had some terrific news.
Really?
There's an excellent chance that my mother may be joining us on Starbase 12.
Your mother?
She's returning home from a conference on O'Grady 7, and she's going to try to rearrange her schedule so she can spend some time visiting with us.
That's wonderful, Deanna.
She mentioned how much she was looking forward to seeing you again, Captain.
Did she? Commander, could I have a word with you?
Oh man, this just reminds me of like being on a cruise or at a hotel in the Caribbean or something, and just chilling, and lots of people in skimpy attire walking by.
Yeah, lots of gratuitous skin,
lots of booty cheeks sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
Lovers are relaxing and stuff like that, and
including that woman from just before the commercial. She's getting her legs massaged in the area nearby.
Mm-hmm. And Picard's like trying to sit there at the pool and read a book when all this, is going on, and kids are splashing him. And he's annoyed. He's such a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And then there's some little ball that keeps coming back, like some kind of hovering ball.
But speaking of balls, can we talk about the budgie smuggler in the room? Jesus. He has on his Speedo. And it's like metallic. I love it. It's great. Yeah.
And he's got this, which another thing, I was so checking out the costumes because he's got like an asymmetrical, later he puts on this asymmetrical like beach.
Like a cover up.
Yeah, cover up.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'm like, I could make that.
The costumes in this episode are great. It really gives you the we're on vacation in the Caribbean vibes for sure.
Totally.
Anyway, annoyed, he wipes off his book and face and tries to get back to reading when the buzzing orb drone thing flies towards him, and he like waves it off like it's a fly or something. I thought that was great. And then we find out it's a hoverball and is being played with by yet another half-naked woman. This is Javal, played by Deirdre Immersheen, now Deidre Haj. We'll see her again in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah, she's in Trouble with the Triples because
Indeed.
she played like an old school TOS person.
Yep. Javal is an employee and asks if there's anything Picard requires to make his stay more pleasant. And Picard's like, you're the fifth woman to ask that exact question just this morning. What I want is to sit in the sun, read my book, and be left the fuck alone.
She's like, yeah, but you say that, but then you carry the Horga'hn. And he's like, why? I just purchased that. Does it have some sort of special meaning? And she's like, well, the Horga'hn is the rising symbol of sexuality. To own it is to call upon its powers. And if you're displaying it, that says that you're seeking Jamaharon.
Yeah, you got it. And Picard's like, fucking Riker. He's like, look, I don't even know what Jamaharon means, but I bought this for a friend. And she's like, ooh, a special friend, somebody you love. And he's like, I wouldn't go that far. She leaves him to read in peace. But then he looks around, snatches up the Horga'hn and hides it under his towel. So funny.
I love it.
He doesn't want to be seen with this sex thing.
He was tricked.
Then he gets back to reading, and a few moments later, that Ferengi from earlier comes and stands right next to him, and he's like, move, bitch, get out the way. You're blocking the suns. Bitch, get out the way.
You're blocking the suns. I love it.
Yes. This, we later learn, is Sovak, played by none other than Max Gredenchek, a.k.a. Rom on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I love him. He's good.
Maybe they just figured he's just the best to play Ferengi.
Mm-hmm. Oh, probably much like Armin in that very first Ferengi appearance. They saw something in him in that, in that role that they were like, this is the guy we need to bring back.
Yep. But so this Ferengi is accusing him of working with that woman that he kissed. And Picard's like, you talking to me? You talking to me? And Sovak says, yeah, I saw you two together. And Picard's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Whatever it is, I don't want anything to do with it. But Sovak keeps going and he's like, tell her I want the disc back. And Picard, they just go back and forth. Look, leave me alone. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know this woman. And then they talk. Sovak's like, apparently you've never dealt with my people before. And Picard is like, oh, yes, I have. And I know that y'all can't be trusted. And then so he feels insulted. And finally he yells at him, like, look, I don't care what you believe, but get away from me, basically. But Sovak finally says, okay, this isn't over. The disc is mine, and so is the woman. So apparently he not only wants some disc that she supposedly has, but he wants a little piece of her too.
The disc must have all of her nudes.
Yeah.
All of her feet pics is on that disc.
It's a feet pics. It's the feet pics. So that lady that kissed him is watching from far away. But Sovak finally leaves, and then here she comes. Just as he settled back down to try to read that goddamn book again.
And Picard is like, you again? Listen, I'm not seeking Jamiroquai or whatever the fuck it's called. And she's like, oh, I was definitely not offering to help you find it. And Picard thinks that because she kissed him randomly the other day, maybe she's into him or she works here or something. He's not entirely sure. And this is, of course, Vash, played by Jennifer Hetrick. She did a steady run of guest roles over like 30 years or so. Picard tries to go back to his book again, but she just keeps pressing. Tell me about yourself, Jean-Luc, or should I guess? And finally, he reveals that he's a Federation starship captain. And she mentions the argument earlier with the Ferengi. And Picard's like, oh, you're the woman he was talking about. But he is not interested in discussing this any further. So he tries to leave to find some privacy. But Vash follows him into the hotel lobby where they bump into Sovak. And of course, Sovak is like, oh, you said you didn't know her. That's interesting.
She's clinging to him as very familiar like. So when they do bump into Sovak, it looks like they know each other. And of course, Sovak, it just kind of proves his suspicions right. So you do know her. You said you didn't know her. And he's like, I don't know her and I don't want to. poor Picard. But again, he starts in about the discs. Just give me the disc and everything. I'll forget about everything else. And as they're talking, Vasha, again, she's clinging onto his arm and she slips something into his pocket. She apologizes and she says, one day I'll explain all this to you later. And then Picard walks away and leaves Sovak and Vash together. And Sovak is like, look, I'll pay you your weight in gold if you give me the disc. And she says no, and she leaves, and he's like, oh, I gotta have that woman.
Then Picard walks into his room to find those 2 aliens from earlier snooping around, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing in my room? Allie, have you ever checked into a hotel and got to your room and walked in on someone, or the other way around?
No. Have you?
When I worked at Disney, this happened a lot less with physical keys. But when I worked at Disney, it would happen. It was very, very rare. But it did happen. Something about like the room assignment software would bug out and double assign the room. And so like if I was already checked in to that room and then you came and checked in, it would cut you a room key and negate mine. Cancel mine. Mine wouldn't work anymore. But I could be in there doing God knows what, and your key would work and open the door. It definitely happens.
Oh man, I always lock the door, like lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured out I know a trick to get that one key thing, that latch. I won't tell you now, but there's a way. There's a way to undo that.
From outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, not a fun situation to deal with at the front desk. Let me tell you, I was a front desk manager at several Disney resorts.
I'd
not
be
fun.
pissed. Did you have to give like free? Did they want like compensation?
Yeah,
I would
you'd
too.
Take care of people.
I wouldn't feel safe, and you gonna pay for
Make
that.
it right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bed bugs and double booked rooms. Those were no, thank you. Anyway, they explain that they are travelers from 300 years in the future. Vorgons named Azure and Baratus. Azure is played by Karen Landry. She did a little bit of everything, starting with Lou Grant. I loved that show. Ooh. That was great. MASH, Webster, Family Ties, Melrose Place, Jag.
Again.
And she died at age 65 from ALS.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Baratus is played by Michael Champion, who was in Total Recall and Beverly Hills Cop. He was also a contracted songwriter and musician with Motown and produced an album for the Jackson 5, which received a gold record.
Jeez. Wow.
Right?
Okay, go ahead, Baratus.
He ain't done. He also formed a band called Abstract Reality with Ray Monette and Bob Babbitt, which later changed its name to Scorpion.
No way.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's amazing.
I don't understand. You say you wish to be alone, yet you carry the Horga'hn.
Well, I just purchased it. Why? Are you implying this has some special meaning?
The Horga'hn is the Rycian symbol of sexuality. To own one is to call forth its powers. To display it is to announce you are seeking Jamaharon.
Riker.
Come in.
Allie, I want to tell you about my bra.
Okay.
As a trans woman, finding a bra that actually fits right has been a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a large torso, like I have, bra makers just assume you have giant breasts, which I do not. So I kept getting too tight around the chest or giant cups that my little itty bitty titties just couldn't fill. Then I found UnderOutfit. The idea of going to a store to get measured and fitted, that ranks somewhere between a transporter malfunction and a first contact gone wrong. A terrifying prospect, but UnderOutfit's 180-day return and exchange policy means I can try different styles, sizes, and colors right here in the comfort of my crew quarters. If something doesn't work, I just send it back. No judgment, no pressure.
Oh, nice.
Wash it, wear it, wash it again, and you can still send it back within 180 days if it's not working for you.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I discovered the Comfort Shaping Bra, and it's become my everyday under uniform go-to. Supportive, comfortable, and my favorite part, the pads are sewn in.
Oh, thank God.
No more fishing the pads through that little fucking hole in the corner.
Where can I get some of those? Because I'm so sick of fishing, like you said, fishing those pads to where when I wash my bras, I've got those little zip container things where you fold it and that way they don't come apart. But I'm sick of doing that. And I would love it. Where do I get it? Because sign me up.
Humanisttrek.com/UnderOutfit.
And they've got shapewear too?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Sold. I'm so fucking tired of those types of bras. To where I only wear sports bras these days, and I just forget the underwire, forget the padding.
Okay. I measured myself right here, and this is like one of the few places where the measurements match the product, and there's like loads of different styles too, right?
Okay.
So
those I don't like. I want a pullover with no clasp. I hate the clasp. I don't do that.
Allie, UnderOutfit has those too.
Awesome.
Adjustable straps, not adjustable straps. Like there's all the fucking choices.
I will be shopping today.
Attention crew, UnderOutfit is now the official underwear of Humanist Trek. They have bras, underwear, activewear, shapewear, and more. Get 15% off your first order at humanisttrek.com/underoutfit.
Picard doesn't believe him. They're like, we're from the future. No, you're not. He's like, well, what do you want from me? And Azure says, have you heard of the Tox Uthat? And he's like, oh, I've heard of, there's apparently a legend where it says that someone from the future, hang on, you guys are from the future. It's like, so a visitor from the future left behind a mysterious device known as the Tox Uthat. He's like, oh, so it does exist then?
Not just a legend, it's a real device created by a scientist in the mid-27th century, a quantum phase inhibitor capable of halting all nuclear reaction within a star. So it's a Star Destroyer?
Star Destroyer, sure, coming right at us.
I guess.
That's a Star Wars joke. Fun fact, the next time we see a device capable of halting all nuclear reaction within a star is Dr. Soren in Star Trek Generations.
I really need to rewatch the movies.
Me too. Anyway, they explained that some criminals attempted to steal the device, so the scientists traveled back in time to hide it in the past. Azure and Baratus were the security team assigned to retrieve it. But hang on, how do we know these people aren't the criminals from the future that tried to steal it?
We don't. But they seem nice enough. Like they're not threatening or anything. They just seem like non-threatening watchers kind of type. They're really nice. I trust them.
Yeah. Picard's like, guys, I'm sorry. I don't have it. I'm not looking for it. And I really hope I don't find it. All I'm trying to find is a little fucking peace and quiet. I just want to read my book. But to them, this is history. He will find the device, which they describe as a crystal cube. Put a pin in that. It fits in the palm of the hand. And then he'll turn it over to them. And Picard seems agreeable to this plan, considering the device belongs in the future, not here anyway.
Yeah.
And satisfied with Picard's agreement, the Vorgons tap a panel on the side of their head to beam out, which I thought was a fun change in things, switching it up.
Picard then kind of sighs, and then he puts his hand in his pocket, and he's like, there's a disc in his pocket. Like,
shit.
And he knows that had to be Vash. So off he goes to her room, which she's cleaning up because it's been ransacked, and she blames Sovok for this because she's like, yeah, Sovok just occasionally comes in and fucking tears up my room to look for this disc.
Picard's like, man, there must be some really hot pics on that mini disc, huh? And something very valuable. And she tries to brush it off, but he's like, it wouldn't have anything to do with, I don't know, apropos of nothing, the Tox Uthat. And she thinks maybe Sovok told him that, but he says, I've just heard rumors that the Uthat is located here on Risa somewhere. And she confirms this, saying that she was the personal assistant to Professor Samuel Estragon.
Estragon.
who spent half his life searching for this device. For the past 5 years, she's been the assistant, and shortly before he died, he uncovered new data pinpointing its location here. And that disk contains his research notes and maps. And Vash is continuing his work. And Picard is all in now. This is the kind of vacation he really wanted. Let's go do some archaeology.
Yeah. He loves some good mystery.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, so you're working with this Ferengi? And she's like, no, we're not working together. Picard was like, well, you two obviously know each other. And then Vash divulges that apparently he helped the professor with some unethical things sometimes. So that's the extent of their relationship. But because he's helped him, he feels like the Tox Uthat belongs to him, like he's entitled to it. Now he's just wanting to sell it to the highest bidder.
While she promised the professor that she would deliver it to the Daystrom Institute for study. Since Sovok is watching her like a hawk, Picard offers to go looking for it in her place, and she steps right up to him, snatches the disc back out of his hand, and the conversation becomes a little bit more sexually charged. She's like, what about me? And he's like, well, you'll stay here where it's safer. And she's like, and is that an order, Captain? And he's like, yeah. And she reminds him, this isn't your starship, and I don't follow orders. If there hadn't been a Star Destroyer to find, I think they might have fucked right there.
But then he says, the moment I met you, I knew you were going to be trouble. And then you can drop in any particular song you want, like, I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
Or something TROUBLE.
Yeah.
That's a country song.
Yeah, it is. That's back in my country era. Anyway, she says it's located about 27 kilometers east in some subterranean caves. And he says, change out of that skimpy bathing suit and meet me in the lobby in 15 minutes. And as he leaves, she seductively says, Jean-Luc, we're going to make a wonderful team.
And then 15 minutes later, they're in the lobby dressed like fucking Indiana Jones and Lara Croft.
Yes.
And yeah, they don't stand out at all.
Right.
Where everyone else is skimpily clad, they're going on to find the Temple of Doom or something.
But of course, they walk through the lobby and Sovok is like hiding behind a potted plant or something. And he pops out with a gun at Picard's back and pushes them off to the side.
Yeah, how did he get a gun? Because there's supposedly no weapons allowed on Risa.
He starts talking about how he paid Vash to steal that disc.
Ooh.
But instead, she betrayed him and used his money to get to Risa. And he says, she's a greedy, unscrupulous woman, a perfect mate for a Ferengi, as he eyes her up and down. And of course, Vash refutes this story.
And then they do like a little fake out on him. She's like, you know what? You can have it. She throws they have this like hard backpack.
It looked like one of the Ghostbuster proton packs a little bit.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what it looked like. It's like a really hard backpack.
Yeah.
She throws it at him. Picard takes the gun and sucker punches him in the face and then knocks him out. And then they retrieve the backpack and then off they go. He throws the gun in the flower pot.
From the moment I met you, I knew you were going to be trouble.
You look like a man who could handle trouble.
So they head off to the Star Trek caves, and it's dark in the Star Trek foam cave playset, and Picard and Vash have stopped for the night. She tells him she hasn't exactly been honest with him, and he's like, well, forgive me if I don't act surprised.
Yep. So she says, okay, fine. He did pay me to hand over the disc, but it wasn't stealing because the professor was dead. So she took it. I mean, it's still not worth. It's awful. She felt entitled to it because she had already devoted 5 years of her life to helping track down the Tox Uthat. And so the professor died, so she didn't feel like it was stealing, but she still took his money, Sovok's money, and said she'd steal it. But that was the only way she could get to Risa to find the Tox Uthat.
Picard is kind of impressed about this. He says any woman who can beat a Ferengi at his own game bears watching. And she's flattered by this. Then they lay out some blankets to make what has to be a very uncomfortable bed.
Yeah.
No self-filling air mattresses in the future, I guess.
No.
And she talks him into admitting that he's having a good time. He's enjoying himself. And then they tuck in, and Picard rolls over, pulling the top cover off of Vash. Fucking typical. And she puts it back and then props herself up facing him and says, man, I'll never forget the look on your face when you thought I was offering you Jamaharon. I need another J word. Jamiroquai was funny. I didn't come up with any other good ones. Then she's like, you did seem a little disappointed when I turned you down. And he laughs and they flirt some more until he finally kisses her.
Yeah. Saw this coming.
Mm-hmm. Cross dissolved to the next day as they continue on through the caves. We don't get to see what happened that night after the kiss until they reach what seems like a room. And Vash says the Uthat should be about 7 meters from the opening along the wall. So Picard goes looking. And unfortunately, Vash's scanner isn't working because of some interference from some ore in the rocks. So Picard pulls out some camping shovels from the Home Depot. And
I love those.
From REI.
That's exactly what they are. They're like, you snap them together and you can dig your fire hole.
Yeah. Yep.
But too late. So just as he puts the spades together, his two little alien friends from the future beam in. And Vash is startled, but Picard isn't. He's like, you're a little premature, right? And they just want to witness the moment. So Vash is like, okay, you owe me an explanation. And he's like, oh yeah, these guys are from the 27th century. They're here to take back the Uthat. And she's like, oh, you were not just going to tell me? And he's like, well, would you have brought me here if I had?
Then Sovak shows up too, having found a copy of the disc in Vash's room, which she thought she had burned.
Right.
But it was still readable. And he's got a big gun this time.
Where's he getting all these guns?
I don't know.
Stop.
And he instructs them to get back to digging as he laughs maniacally to commercial.
I'll never forget that look on your face when you thought I was offering you Jamaharon.
Now, that was a simple misunderstanding.
You did seem a lot disappointed when I turned you down.
You are outrageous.
They've dug already down to like 3 feet, and Picard gives up. And Picard's like, I don't see any reason to keep going because it's obviously not here.
Sovak isn't hearing this. He thinks Picard is trying to trick them, but Vash agrees it's not here. According to the disc, they should have found it hours ago. The professor's research just must have been wrong. And the Vorgons are equally confused, and they transport out of the cave. Sovak, still refusing to believe it, grabs a shovel himself, pushes his way into the hole, and starts frantically digging.
So they're back at Vash's room back at the hotel. And Vash is like really sad. She's like, she wasted 5 years of her life. And Picard's like, don't worry, there's other treasures to be found. But she's upset and she just wants to be left alone. The Enterprise has arrived back in the airspace of Risa. And they're like, we just wanted to let you know we're here. And whenever you're ready to beam aboard, you can.
Picard tells Riker to stand by and prepare to initiate transporter code 14 at his signal. And Riker seems like maybe this is gibberish to him or he doesn't understand why we're using code 14. But Picard hangs up the call. It's night, and Vash is sneaking out of the hotel, but Picard is sitting at a table waiting for her. How long do you think he was sitting there?
I mean,
waiting for her to sneak out.
He's so smart. He's just too smart for his own good.
She's like, well, I was coming to say goodbye, but we all know that's bullshit. And he asks for just one more thing. Tell me where you've hidden the Tox Uthat. Another big reveal moment. This is like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Picard gets to do the Watson.
Yes. He gets to do gather everyone in a room and reveal it's not you, it is not you, but it's you. I love it.
She never intended to actually burn that backup disc. She wanted Sovok to find it and follow them to the cave so he could see for himself that it wasn't there and get him off her back, because she had already been there, found the Utat, taken it, and probably hidden it somewhere the first moment she got to Risa.
She's so clever.
And she picks up a Horga'hn statue from the pile of Horga'hn statues sitting around the giant Horga'hn statue and pops its head off to reveal a crystal from the Woo shop down the street. Didn't they say this was a cube-shaped thing at the beginning?
That fits into the palm of your hand, yeah.
This isn't cube-shaped. Yeah, no, this was like a crystal.
So he takes it out and holds it, and he's like, so you were going to give this to the Daystrom Institute? And she's like, well, maybe not give it to them. She was going to try to make a profit. She is like a Ferengi at heart. Yeah. But just then the two aliens beam in, and they're like, congratulations, we knew that you wouldn't fail us. But Vash is like, you're not going to just hand it over to them. You don't even know if you can trust them. So Picard's like, well, I assumed before I give it to them that they're going to have proof to back up their claim. But then they don't have any proof. They're just saying like that their being there is proof enough. And then Vash is like, hang on, wait a second. Professor had some notes, and he said that there was a male and a female Vorgon who attempted to steal the Uthat in the first place. So now we don't know who we can trust. And so Baratas and Azure start getting a little impatient, and they're like, you're going to return what's ours. And Vash says no, but then Baratas actually fires on her and pushes her back. And then Picard calls the Enterprise, issues that code 14, says lock on to present coordinates with a 2-second delay, and then he puts the crystal on the ground. He steps back, and then the crystal explodes.
Picard checks on Vash and tells the Vorgons to get lost. But before they go, they admit that history actually recorded that Picard destroyed the Utat, so he fulfilled his destiny.
And they didn't tell him that. They just said that he found it and that he returned it to them. Nice.
Back in Picard's room, they're saying their goodbyes. Vash asks about a job on the D as an archaeologist, and Picard brings her back to reality. That life is not for you. And she's like, well, I was thinking about exploring the ruins on Sarthong 5, and Picard jumps up. You are certifiably nuts. Those people are merciless to trespassers. So he clearly, he's got some feelings for her, and she notices that.
Of course.
And they have a nice kiss goodbye, and Vash says she wishes they had more time together, but Picard points out that the Vorgons are time travelers, and now that they know where and when to find the device, they could just go back and try again. And I read that there was a scene at the end of this episode that was basically like a reset of an earlier scene, showing that basically this all happened all over again, and the Vorgons did come back and try again, but they found it confusing, so they cut it.
Yeah. Let the audience wonder.
Yeah.
The captain's back on the D, and he's come to the bridge, and Riker gives him a status report that everything went well on the starbase.
Picard tells Riker they need to have a little chat about that Horga'hn he requested. And as Picard heads to the ready room, Troy asks if it was a relaxing trip, and Picard grins and says, uh-huh. And the ornery grin on Riker hits again, and he's like, see, I told you you'd have a great time. Off to the next adventure.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'll be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
This is a bubblegum episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, was there a...
Nah, Picard got to have a little love interest, do some archaeology. But otherwise, nothing really changed for anyone this week. Neither characters nor audience, really.
Other than, everybody needs a holiday.
Yes. Take your PTO, everybody. Take your vacation time. Use it.
Not just for yourself, but for other people. People
Yep.
need a break from you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are just like, go away. Like you want to tell your boss, just go away. Do us all a favor and take a break.
I love Vosh.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she gets to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Max Gradenchik, and I'm glad he gets to come back and like fully develop a character.
Yeah.
So good.
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you.
I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money.
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
All right, then, as always, we want to thank everybody who supports the show. We want to thank our highest level patrons, our founding admirals. A thank you to Allie, Peter, Sarah D, Bruce, the Bear and Curd podcast, and some call him Tim. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind. Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Beck is back now with the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question for Captain's Holiday. Remind us the question, please.
What not so familiar face, can you see in the background of multiple scenes in this episode?
I have no idea. Watched it? I talked about it?
I'm pretty I have no idea.
No,
I'm pretty sure we got it wrong, or I got it wrong.
What did we even guess?
You guessed Michael Dorn and Allie guessed Armin Shimmerman.
Yeah.
And I thought Armin Shimmerman was a great guess. Unfortunately, Sarah got it right.
Wait, what?
Affirmative.
Yeah.
It's Michael Dorn?
It's Michael Dorn. He can be seen twice without his Klingon makeup as a tourist. He's the first character to appear as it starts on Risa. He walks across the screen left to right with a woman in red. Then as the picture zooms back, he's wearing a purple tank top and orange swim trunks.
Hold on.
Then
No.
Yeah.
More?
Then he can be seen again in the scene where Vash slips the disc into Picard's tunic. He's sitting in a wicker chair behind Vash, Picard, and the Ferengi.
All right, hang on. I'm
On the right.
I'm pulling it up.
I haven't watched it yet. At time of recording.
Okay, give me the description of the...
He's wearing purple.
No, the beginning. He's where?
He is
one of the first people.
First people to appear. He walks across the screen.
Oh
left to
shit,
right.
there he is. What? In the first 4 fucking seconds. Hang on, let me share the screen. This is the opening shot. There he is.
Oh, see, it doesn't even look like him though.
That's fucked up. All right, well,
That is
I got
fucked-
that
that's
one on
real
a
fucked up.
complete guess. That's crazy.
That's bullshit. That's what that is.
I'll take the point.
That's some bullshit. I think there's some cheating going on. You two live in the same
That
house.
bitch
Trust
doesn't
me,
let
I
me
do
see
not want
anything.
her to win anything.
No, she doesn't let me look at nothing.
I was so pissed. I was like, damn it. Usually when they do this split, Sarah always gets it. Just once, I'd like them to do the split and Allie get it.
Well,
You got to give me more signals.
there you go. Well, we have a lot more Star Trek to go. So next time on Humanist Trek, we'll review Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 20, Tin Man. The crew is thrust into a deadly showdown with the Romulans over a newly discovered life form in a remote star system. Okay, what I remember about this one is it's like the space whale thing. It's they think it's a ship and they beam over to it and they're like inside it and whatever, but it's actually a living thing.
It's alive. It's alive. It's like that one show, Farscape. Is it like that big ship that's actually a being? You never watched Farscape? You
No.
never watched Farscape.
No.
Nerd card revoked.
And I don't remember anything about the Romulans with it, though. Like, the Romulans show up and they're about to blast it out of the sky or something, and they have to be like, you can't shoot, it's a living being. Beverly. All right, what's our question for Tin Man?
What interesting method did the sound team use to create the alien ship sounds in this episode?
What?
What did they do to make the sound effects for the alien ship?
Did they use real animals, like, and make whale noises? I don't know.
Animal sounds is a good one. I'm gonna go with they put a microphone up to somebody's stomach and recorded the sounds that your stomach makes. Bubble guts.
I don't remember bubble guts. They recorded bubble guts. I don't remember what the sound sounded like. So I'm gonna go with some real animals and then whales, but not really whales. So I don't know.
Keep it broad.
Yeah, animals. Right.
Animals. We'll keep it broad, but I have no idea.
Stomach sounds.
And yes.
Okay.
You need to type specifically bubble guts.
Okay. That means.
You know what it means. You know when you get them bubble guts.
No, I don't.
And
I don't get bubble guts, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lady.
Everybody gets bubble guts. It don't matter what your gender or your.
I've never heard it called bubble guts.
That's an Allyism.
It's a little interesting.
It's called bubble gut. Bubble gut.
And if you have bubble guts and want to, if you want to play along, you know how to do that. Head out to your social media, share this episode with the hashtag Starfleet Challenge and your answer, and we will pick out a winner. And next time we'll discuss Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 20, Tin Man.
It's a good day to die.
Beverly.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcast. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/humanisttrek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.